truth, spilling my truth.
So for the last couple of years, I've been labeled a deadbeat father on social media. And no, nobody has ever said my name directly. And if they have said my name, they made sure that I was not able to see it. But nevertheless, the indirect things that I have seen posted, when I seen it, I instantly knew that it was about me. And when somebody goes on social media, whether it's indirect or direct, when you see things that you know are about you, or if somebody is directly sending something to you, it does hit different. So no, it was never direct, just, nameless posts, shares, little slick comments, simply mail without an address, but it still made its way to my doorstep. And you instantly understand when you see things like this on social media that people are able to form their own opinion about you. People are able to judge you. And that's only because they're going off of a one-sided story, bro. And like I said in the past, like I said before, I ain't never been perfect. You know what I mean? I've made mistakes. I've chose the streets over my kids. I've made decisions while being in the streets that pushed me far away from my kids. Never being the father that I should have been 100% of the time. And when you dealing with this type of things on social media, along with dealing with, being financially unstable, and a lot of men ain't gonna speak on this, bro. But when you're not financially where you wanna be in life, it really starts to affect everything. Like, it affects with your access to your kids. Because it was a time when I felt like if I couldn't provide a certain way, then I was denied certain opportunities to be there. And that hurts differently because you want to show up and you want to be there for your child. You want to be there for your children, but it's like, yeah, you can be here under these conditions, if that makes sense. But at the same time, even feeling like this, I still had to look at myself because, like I said before, everything do come with a consequence. And I understand the frustrations of a woman when a man is not helping her pull his weight when it comes to his children. I understand the hurt that comes behind a man not holding up his end of the bargain, especially when he done made promises and he didn't make good on these promises. I understand that sense of betrayal. And I ain't finna sit here and make it seem like I did not engage in my own pettiness. Because I've shot my own shots as well. Yes, they was indirect, the same way they was coming to me, but nevertheless, I did shoot my shots too. And it didn't make nothing better, Of course, I done it out of frustration. I did it out of, reacting out of my emotions, trying to defend my name, But what did it help? It didn't help anything. All it did was add fuel to that fire, because it damn sure didn't fix anything. And this didn't just affect me, just affected my family too. Like my parents, my mother and my father, they had to go on social media and they had to see these things. And my mama and my old boy not slow. They know when somebody talking about their child, bro. And they too had to suffer the weight of my reactions. And it do hit a little different on that end as well because my mama and my daddy raised me different, fam. You feel me? But I still reacted and I still got petty. And guess what? They had the weight of that embarrassment as well. So that's when it like clicked in me like, this don't just affect you. This affect everybody that's connected to you, bro. I started to notice, man, like when I started to speak my truth about the situation, a lot of things started to change. Like the energy started to change. Like the attitude started to change. You know what I mean? A lot of situations was able to be handled with understanding and reason. And at first, no, it did not seem genuine. At first, I didn't feel like it was genuine at all. I really felt like it was, a quiet plea for me to really just be hush, instead of speaking out and speaking how I feel about the situation. But I had to instantly check myself because Sometimes I double dip my chip. I have a little too much dip on my chip and I jump off the deep end when I feel like somebody is playing with me. But I had to bring it back to the square and get back on my square because this ain't about me proving no point. This ain't about me trying to prove you being wrong and me being right, vice versa. No, this is about me being a better man and a better father for my children because that's the goal, period. That's the only goal that I have. And you know, the things that people don't see is the effort that I put in. They don't see me trying. They don't see that part. You know, they don't see that untold part of the story. They don't see me trying to bring my kids together endless times, but it's being blocked or it's being towed down because a certain individual can't have their hands in it or can't have a certain amount of control over the situation. See, they don't see that part. You know what I mean? They don't see me trying over and over and over and being knocked down over and over and over. They don't see that part. They don't see when my kids tell me, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be with you. I don't feel comfortable around you. They don't see this part. But guess what? They don't see it. I get up every day and try it again and again and again and never give up. They don't see that part. And I still get up and strive and not to put Moo in this as if she just a golden child, but you know, she did help me see things different. From going through the things that I've been through with my previous children, even if it was 80% of it being my fault, even if that was it doesn't matter. You know, I get up every morning and do my best to implement them in my life every way I can. Now, if it's gonna be allowed, it's gonna be allowed. You understand what I'm saying? But I can only do what is allowed. But my baby, she had me to see things different. She made me look in that mirror and understand that, Jit, you gotta change, boy. You can't be the same dude, especially when you're dealing with these children. You can't. You got to grow up, boy. You got to get your act together. And I pat myself on the back because I feel like I've been doing a damn good job. Rather it goes noticed or unnoticed, I feel like I've been doing a damn good job. You know what I mean? So no, I ain't no perfect son. I'm not a perfect brother. I'm not a perfect man. I ain't a perfect person. I'm far from a perfect father, but I'm a present father. And if there's any fathers out there who can relate to this message that I'm putting out, man, and you trying to rekindle your life with your children, you trying to make up for the things that you did mess up, man, hit that subscribe button because this right here is real life. And it's the place you need to be at. Man, thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, episode 3 on the way, dropping same time next week. Love.